Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. Sorry for the lack of upload yesterday. I had a bit of a family weekend, and I just got back. You know, I had a good time, and I'm ready to get into the reveals again, as I have seen the cards that showcased Behold yesterday, or I didn't express that correctly at all. Basically, the cards that were released yesterday with the new mechanic in Behold, like I saw those, but I heard people saying that Trundle was obviously going to be the next champion. I actually know nothing about Trundle. It's the first time I hear about him. I wasn't aware of his existence, so I don't really have like any bias or anything going on here, but I'm really excited to see what, I'm going to go ahead and predict that Trundle is going to be an 8-mana unit champion, because that would make sense with all the Behold mechanics revolving around having a very high cost unit. But that's basically all I got, so I'm very excited for this reveal. I want to see more. Like, I actually like Freljord a lot as a region, and I think Freljord still has a long way to go in regards to region identity and being able to do multiple different things, because right now they're kind of like very straightforward compared to other regions in my opinion. So I really want to see what this troll archetype has to offer. I'm not particularly impressed by the Behold mechanic, but I guess I'll talk a little bit about that afterwards. And yeah, without further ado, we're just gonna hop on to the video and do a live reaction. I gotta say, for those of you watching who are interested in the Twitch streams, I'm going to be back on daily streams starting tomorrow. Even though generally I take off Mondays and Fridays, tomorrow I will be streaming Runeterra, and I'm also going to be doing a League of Legends stream. I believe it'll be on Tuesday, most likely. And yeah, from tomorrow onwards, I'm getting back on the daily Twitch streaming schedule, and obviously I'm going to be pumping out some gameplay videos on top of that as we wait for the sweet release of this next expansion. And hopefully you guys are excited for that, because I've had a lot of people asking me when I plan to return to streaming regularly, and that's the idea. So without further ado, let's get into Trundle. Let's see what Trundle's about. Alright, wait a second. Let me check the dimensions. All good. Sweet. Let's do this.
King of Trolls coming through.
Go face! Oh, whoa, wait. He's a 5-drop. Okay, so I got it wrong. I was 100% convinced he was an 8-drop. Alright, let's see. Trundle, 5 mana, 4/6. Decent stat line with regeneration, so kind of like reminds you to Garen initially. When I'm summoned, create an ice pillar in hand. Level up. I've seen you play ice pillar. Oh, so does this guy have like an iceberg or some shit? Is that what he's about? Okay, so right now, pretty straightforward. Ice pillar, we're gonna see just how expensive that shit is, because it seems like an incredibly easy level up requirement. So maybe Ice Pillar is like really big. 8 mana?
Get ready for a beatdown.
Okay. Cool story, bro. Yep. Alright, let me take a look at that. Wait. And then we're gonna replay again, because I fucking love this music. Vulnerable, play, refill, 8 mana. Okay, I'm liking this shit already. Play and round start, give the strongest enemy vulnerable this round. It is vulnerable though. It's got 8 health, but the fact that you play this and you just refill all the mana, so you're not really like, that's awesome. And you get to level up. Okay, this is really cool. This is really neat. I like this design a lot. And now we're gonna, I need me that sweet music though.
Get ready for a beatdown.
You small or me big? Can my ice neck?
You got a problem?
Yes, he has regeneration. Very neat. I like how they put like a standard elusive deck here. Ice Quake. Whoa. This is 8 mana too, so this counts for Behold as well. Give all units -3 attack this round. Deal 3 damage to all units. It's like Uber Avalanche. Oh my god. It's so expensive though. Like, I don't think this card is that good at all, because like it's kind of like it seems like a bit of a worse Winter's Breath if you think about it. Maybe I'm underestimating it. Like, 3 AoE damage is neat, but it's so expensive, dude. It's alright, right? But it's not great. I mean, here's fantastic.
Always cold in the ground.
Shout outs to the elusive player not having deny, by the way. You're the real MVP. Woo. Okay, wait. Okay, the Behold, they explained that before. Bonus if you have a type of card on play in your hand. This one has the same requirement of an A+ cost card. 6 mana, 5/5, a little bit understated, but with Overwhelm and Regeneration. Play if you have Behold. If you Behold an 8 cost hand, so Behold basically, grant an ally Overwhelm and Regeneration. Okay. That's actually pretty damn neat. But I'm still not sold on this card, honestly. I'll explain why in a bit. I'm actually gonna watch the entire video first. Alright, yeah, boy, Elnuk. I mean, that's a good target.
This is gonna be fun.
What is that 2/7? What is that 2/7? What do you do about that? What is that unicorn thing? Alright, die. Okay.
Control to rule 'em all.
Oh, big boy! Okay, so when he's leveled up, attack, grant me +1 for each 8 cost card you Behold. I'm not too crazy on this. I don't think this is that good.
Bow to your king.
I want to see what that unicorn does. Alright, so very generic, smorky voice. You know, nothing like unexpected right there. Alright, let's go to Twitter. Let's go to light mode Twitter so we can trigger all of you. And oh, look, your boy Swim is faster than me, that's for sure. Well, I just got back home, so watch Swim's video, then you can watch mine. Here we go. Okay, so the Ice Pillar, the Augur of the Old Ones, we got the Ice Quake right there. Okay, so the 2/7 is a card from Target. Okay, so they are revealing like a couple of Target cards in between all these Froyo cards, like they did the other day with Ionia as well. So Broad Back Protector, an epic. Round start, heal your Nexus 3, deal damage to me equal to the amount healed. Every round you heal 3. Like, this could be, like, tremendously... Like, this could be super good against aggro. For one, because that huge health stat that allows you to chump block multiple things. But it's taking damage. It's a hard card to evaluate. It's going to be very meta-dependent. Like, if there's not, like, hyper-aggressive decks running around... maybe this is, like, intended to, like, buy you a little bit of time as you work for your ramp gameplay. Not sure. And the Unicorn says, heal an ally and your Nexus 3. So another heal card. Basically, you're paying 1 more mana than like a standard vanilla stat line for the likes of Bull Elnuk. So you're going from that, and for 1 more mana, you're healing like 6. You're healing an ally and your Nexus for 3. Again, really good card. I think if you're running into a lot of aggro decks, but you know, outside of that, maybe to buy time for your ramp game plan. I think that's why these cards were designed, and maybe they are efficient at doing that. They seem really solid, honestly. Like the Stellarcorn seems, it seems all right. Like nothing here is. Maybe I am undervaluing these two, right? Like maybe they could be really impactful, and maybe they could really help other ramp strategies as well. But you know, nothing like game breaking from either of these two right now. Revitalizing Roar, pick a unit in your hand to reveal. Heal your Nexus by its power. Enlightened, reduce its cost to 0. Okay, so if you're now this is a cool card. You get to heal for 7 mana, and you get to reduce the cost. So you get to play this. Yeah, like all these cards are basically supporting the idea of like being able to make up for early damage applied by aggressive decks as you build up your ramp game plan. I like this sort of ramp support. Like we're getting a lot of like this is the kind of shit that I wanted. By the way, we've had big problems with Nox's aggro ever since Rising Tides came out. It's been like addressed multiple times, but it's always like I feel like it's always on the verge of like you just add in a couple, 1 or 2 cards that you know promote that archetype, and it gets out of hand again because it's a matter of like quantity more specifically than quality. They have a lot of ways to deal direct damage, so having more resources to heal outside of like the ones that we have, because right now we have the Tavern Keeper, we have the Radiant Guardian, Health Potion, I guess you may mention, and there's not that many other, outside of Shadow Owls, there's not really that many options. And to see like Targon Bean packing some healing is really neat. Like I think that's fantastic for the game, especially considering the overall, like the Nexus health it's pretty low at 20. I think it's the right mark, but it's the reason why sometimes metagames get out of control and you have this hyper aggro archetypes just really wrecking havoc and oppressing so many strategies. So having cards like these being I was gonna say printed, but not technically, is really neat. Like I definitely do like it. Revitalizing Roar English. Like if this card gets countered, then you lose. The tempo loss is big. But what's really, really cool about Revitalizing Roar is how you can use the spell mana, right? So if you... The problem is you have to be enlightened. That's the thing. Because otherwise this would be so busted. But you can use the spell mana to cast a unit. Like you can transfer the spell mana to a unit mana. That may not seem like a big deal, but it actually really is. There's a reason why spell mana can only be used for spells and not for units. So Revitalizing Roar allows you to use 3 spell mana onto a unit, and when you're enlightened, by reducing the cost, and you get to heal quite a bit as well. So it allows you to go for a big boy play, right? That also that you would be able to go for anyway, so it's not like it's cheating you into that, but it allows you to go for that and also heal up quite a bit in the process, which I think is ideal ramp design. Like I like a lot of these cards supporting ramp. I like the Ice Pillars design as well. Trundle, though, I'm just not really sold on him, to be honest. Like I don't think when he levels up, I mean he does gain +1 overall, but my issue with the Behold mechanic is that it's going to lead to very polarizing hands, right? It's really, like, my mind compares it to the likes of Deep and Nautilus. It's kind of like a similar strategy, right? Like, you're building up for your late game, and then you try to overwhelm your opponent. That's kind of like how ramp strategies go. And tossing Deep is an archetype that requires you to draw certain cards to allow you to start tossing early on. So if you draw all of your late game, you have a consistency problem, right? That was very much intended when designing that archetype. The thing is, people were able, or have been able, to really design a very fine-tuned version of the deck that doesn't require too many sea monsters to be played in the deck, right? So you mitigate those sort of bad hands quite consistently. That's why a card like Jaw Hunters is so vital to the archetype, because it gives you an early game play that also gives you a late game tool or sea monster to play later down the line when you enter Deep. The problem with that compared to this, or the problem with Trundle and this archetype rather, it seems, with the Behold aspect of it, because keep in mind that even though I'm not too crazy about Behold as a mechanic as of right now, there's a lot of cards that I like for general ramp strategies. Like I think Revitalizing Roar has a lot of potential. Maybe I'm overrating it, but I think this card is actually can be pretty neat. Again, it depends on how fast-paced the meta is. And I also think like these cards can be really, really good assets to a ramp strategy that features Freljord and Targon specifically, even though it can be others. But I think with Freljord, it can be really neat because you can combine this with stuff like Tavern Keeper, and you have like all of a sudden the ability to just really build up your health and buy time so you can start, smacking down the big boys on your opponent. The problem that I have with Trundle and the Behold mechanic is that unlike Deep, I just don't see any way around the consistency issues, and I think they're going to be really big. I think no matter how you look at it, when you see, shouts to Mr. Freeze, when you see these cards, like, first of all, the payoff is not even that great. Like, sure, a 2-mana 4/3 is really neat, but it's not even that crazy nowadays. And the fact that you need to have an 8-cost card in your hand by turn 2 when you play this makes this card very suspect, in my opinion. And I also don't know what to think about the Troll Ravager, like a 3/5 with the regeneration. Even if this card had regeneration from the get-go, I'm not sure if I would play it. I think this card is a little bit off. I think it's underpowered, even though, because basically you're technically paying one stat, like one attack for regeneration, so it is technically really good. But as a 4-drop, you're not really pushing that much damage with this. I guess it could be a decent blocker and a decent board presence, but it's nothing like too crazy. Like, I don't know, comparing this to something like Braum, even though Braum is obviously a champion, but comparing the two just makes you really think about how underwhelming this card is, because this card needs you to have an 8-cost card to get that regeneration. So I think Troll Ravager is probably the worst of them, and I just don't like Usgardiation. Is, I mean, it's all right. It's got Challenger and regeneration, but I'm not sold on it, man. I'm not sold. Like this troll archetype seems really fun, and I definitely will be experimenting with it. And I will be trying cards like Faces of the Old Ones and other, like, I think Faces of the Old Ones can actually be good, even though it's extremely frail at the same time. Like, it's got 2 health. Like, it's very easy for it to die. At least it's not vulnerable, right? And it can't block, which is neat. But I really want to try like an all-in sort of like ramp deck with this plus the Whirling Stones. But I don't know if it's gonna be built around trolls, to be completely honest with you. Because I think there may be other strategies that are better to ramp into, though I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I definitely do think that's the thing. Troll Scavenger is okay-ish. Troll Ravager seems really bad, and Usgar seems pretty atrocious as well. But this card, though, this card is the shit, dude. This card is amazing. Troll Chant. Oh, I had a voice crack there. Troll Chant is a 2-mana burst speed spell that's basically Elixir of Iron on steroids, right? We were paying 1 more mana, and we have the ability to Elixir of Iron one of our units, right? And give an enemy -2 attack. Keep in mind that when we are dealing with a combat, and we have several blocks declared, we can target like one ally to give +2 health, and another one to take away their attack. So this card can actually help us win 2 individual combats, which is amazing for just 1 card to do. And there's also a lot of like synergy potential with this to take into account. Like, not only, for example, this card can be a very strong asset for Ash decks, right? Because they run Culling Strike. So this card can be a Culling Strike enabler alongside as a resource to protect Ash or other units from removal, amongst other things. It's just so flexible. When you have a card that's so flexible, so like tempo driven, like it's actually like fair from a tempo perspective. You're paying 2 mana for a total of 4 stats temporary, and it's just really good utility. Like, I think this is perhaps the best card revealed from Freljord up until now, and I think this card may actually become a staple for most, at least mid-range based Freljord decks. I wouldn't think about it in like ramp decks. I think I don't really feel like that's its home, but in mid-range Freljord list, oh my god, this card is a 3 of in pretty much fucking everything, honestly. We got the Troll Chant, and I think there was another card here. Oh, the Call to Wild. I don't know how I feel about this card. Like, comparing this with like Salvage. With Salvage, you're paying 1 more mana and you're drawing 2 cards guaranteed. In order for this card to like net you card advantage, you need to have a significant amount of Yeti, Poros, and Elnuks. I don't think this card fits in a deck with like specific like a Poro or Elnuk deck. I think this deck fits a weird machination which features all of these types of units and somehow works together. So this card can actually draw us like 3 to 4 cards on average, but even that is actually yeah, that's a little bit far-fetched, not gonna lie. This card is neat, but it's expensive, man. It's 3 mana, and it's gonna fit very, very specific decks, and I'm not sure this is gonna be the defining sort of support that these tribal strategies requires. I think it needs a little bit more than that, but maybe I'm underestimating the card. I think it's pretty underwhelming. But at least it's a nice toy to mess around with, and I'll definitely try to build a deck with Yeti, Poros, and Elnuks that makes any sort of sense. So I'll be looking into that. But Troll Chant, definitely the MVP of these reveals. And these Behold cards, like I said, pretty underwhelming initially. Trundle looks really fun. I will definitely be playing a lot of Trundle. I will definitely be playing with the Ice Pillar, and I will be venturing in like and trying different ways to like ramp and see how efficient you can make this. And I'm very, very excited for this champion. But for now, I do definitely believe, considering, you know, the likes of Tarek and Lulu, I think Trundle is definitely on the lower side regarding power level. And I do believe this archetype is going to struggle with consistency a lot. So, you know, time will tell. Definitely going to be playing the shit out of this, though. Like, I'm really, really excited. I like this design a lot, but I do feel like it may be a little bit underwhelming. That's my initial impression, at least. And that's basically what I'm going to leave it at. I've been talking about this for like 20 minutes. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about Trundle and fans. And friends. And fans, too. Why not? Fans can be friends. And I'll be back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be streaming. And you guys can expect gameplay videos to come back, yeah, starting tomorrow as well. So, yeah, have a solid day. Thank you guys for watching. Love ya. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. I'll see you guys around.